This is how you can pass your US interview for study visa in one sitting. So just in case you're wondering, why am I saying this? And this is because I have used this for several students and they have been successful. Please note, US interview is not a guaranteed visa because you're smart or because you have good savings of account or because you have good academic qualification. It's one-on-one interview, so which means you need to be able to understand how the process works. You need to understand what they want. You need to understand how to answer the questions right, because sometimes a question could be a three-in-one question. For example, a question like, why did you choose this course? Could be the reason like, where are you coming from? What did you study? Why this particular course? And how is this course going to help you improve in your career path? So basically, you have to understand that some questions are not just one-off questions. So for example, if they ask you, are you married? You can't just say yes or no. It doesn't work like that because they already have these details in your form. So you've already filled out the form. So the reason they're asking, they want you to provide further details. So basically, any question that they're asking you, they want further details. And this is one of the reasons why I'm making this video, so that you can be able to, trash it in one sitting. So before I get or dive into the questions and answer section, I need to explain things you need to understand. Number one, never ever give a one-word response. So for example, if they ask you, are you married? Don't just say yes or no. Give details. So always give details. It is very important to always give details. Why are you studying this course? I'm studying this course to be able to give details. So another thing is this: confidence is the key when it comes to getting this visa. And that's why sometimes I have seen people that are not smart, people that are not as good as you are, people that are not as intelligent as you are, they get this visa. But I've seen people that are intelligent, because they are not confident, they lose out on the long run. So it always makes sense to be able to build your confidence when you're going for this interview. Number three, you need to understand what they want, and you need to be able to relate your response, your answer, to be able to meet what they're looking out for. They're looking out for some basic stuff, your intelligence. So they test you on several stuff. Number one, your intelligence. Number two, if you have genuine intentions. Number three, your reasons for actually studying in their countries. Once you're able to prove beyond reasonable doubt that you have a valid reason for studying in their country, it just changes the whole dynamics. So this is why you have to watch this video to the end. So number one, why are you studying in our country? Or why are you studying in this country? Or why are you studying this particular course? It could mean, all these questions can mean the same thing, and they can ask it in different ways. So it makes sense to be able to give reasons why you're actually trying to study in that particular country at that particular point. You'll be able to give details on why you're studying in the United States. So the reason why you're studying, how that course is going to help you in the long run, why you chose the US above every other country. So, and why you're not studying in your particular country. So for example, in some countries where they experience a lot of strike, you could state that the reason why I'm studying in the US and not in my home country is the fact that a 2-year course sometimes can become like a 3-year course, or a 4-year course may end up being a 6-year course, based on the fact that the economy is not stable and they always strike in my country, or the fact that in your country you don't have the technological advancements that they have in that particular country. So give details like that. So they could also ask you, why did you choose the particular course, or why are you studying this course? It makes sense to be able to explain how that course is going to impact on your career goals, or how that course is going to help you to be able to get a higher role in your career. You could also get another question like, how many schools did you apply to? This is not a right or wrong answer. What they're just trying to know is if you did your research before applying to those schools, and you're not just doing like you're not just throwing your net in every ocean or every river that you come across. So what this means, if you apply to 5 different schools, state it. I applied to 5 different schools. I got admission from 3 or from 4 different schools, and after doing my due diligence, I decided to go for this school because, for example, let's say other schools don't offer, let's say you're studying let's say computer science, for example, and other schools don't offer this particular course, but this particular school that you chose offered this as an additional course. This is one of the reasons why you are going for this particular school. So you could also get another question: how did you hear about this school? I got to know about this school after doing my research. Whenever I search for the best school in this particular field, this school always come up. So, and I got to know about them from Google, and after getting to know about them from Google, I decided to research more, get to meet some of the old students who recommended the school, and that's one of the reasons why And that's how I got to know about the school. And that's one of the reasons why I chose this school. Why do you have a long educational gap? Now, this often happens when you studied like 10, 15 years ago, and all of a sudden you are planning to go for another degree now. It's important to be able to explain this reason. And one way to explain it is this. After graduating, after getting my first degree, I've been working for the last 10 years, building my career, and I've gotten to this particular position in my career. However, I cannot go beyond this unless I go for a master's program. And this is the reason why I'm going for this program, so that I'll be able to pick a management position in my career or in this field. You could also get another question like, what do you do for a living? Or where do you currently work? Now, this is just to assess you to see if what you're trying to study is in line with your current career. It doesn't make sense if you studied chemical engineering. In the last 10 years, you build your career in the banking sector, and now you're planning to study something different. That's why it doesn't make sense. But let's say, for example, you're coming from a chemical engineering field, you have done 10 years in the banking industry, and now you're trying to go and study banking and finance. It makes sense because now, yes, you study something different, and you'll be able to build your career in this particular field, and you're just trying to, go to the next level in life to be able to build your career, even though that's not what you studied initially. So that's why you're going for this particular course. So always ensure that everything aligns. Who is sponsoring your trip? Now, this is very important, and that's because they're just trying to weigh to see if this person have the all it takes to be able to sponsor your trip. In the case where you're the one sponsoring, it makes sense to give them a brief overview of your career. Let me give you an example. I've been working in this particular field for the last 10 years. I've been able to move from this particular position to this particular position. Over the years, I've been able to save over $60,000. And my school fees or my tuition is about $35,000. And this is why I have the confidence to be able to sponsor myself and still have enough money to take care of my bills while studying in the United States. And in the case where somebody is sponsoring you, you have to be able to give details of what the person does for a living, your relationship with the person, and why the person is sponsoring you. For example, my dad is sponsoring me, Mr. Leke Ade. He's currently the CEO of so conglomerate with branches in Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Accra, Ghana, and Togo. He has a staff strength of over 500 people, and his business spans across different sectors. He's into the hospitality industry. He has about 6 different hotels in Nigeria, 3 in Ghana. He's also into importation of building materials. He also has a real estate firm where they have one of the biggest estates in. So give details about what this person does for a living to be able to give this person an idea of what this person is capable of doing. So the whole idea is just to show them that your parents is boxed up, or the person sponsoring you is well boxed up, just to show that the person can afford this trip conveniently. Also, in the case whereby you got some form of scholarship, it always makes sense to get scholarship. So always try to see if you can get some level of funding. And they ask you, how did you get your funding? You should be able to explain in details. I was able to get funding because I graduated with a first-class degree in this particular field, or because I wrote one of the best essays, or due to my thesis, which explained how you could actually cure cancer. So it always makes sense to be able to explain in details. Are you married? So that's another question you could get. So like I always say, don't ever give a one-way response. Don't just say yes or no. If it is yes, yes, I'm currently married to Miss, or yes, I'm currently married to the love of my life, Mrs. Leke. We both live together. She's into this, and this. She'll be staying in Nigeria, or she'll be going with me because so our marriage is still new, and she really needs my I really need her support while I'm studying. Just give details on, if you're going with the person, state it. If you're not going with the person, state it. And if you're not going, for example, you could also state that she's currently not going with me. She'll be in Nigeria while I'm studying, and after the completion of my program, I'll be coming back to join her in Nigeria. So give details like that. And in the case where you're not married, state that I'm currently not married, but I'm in a serious relationship. If you're in a serious relationship, and we plan to get married after my study in the United States. So always ensure that something is bringing you back to your home country. Do you have children? So in the case where you have children, state the number of children you have. If you're married, state it. If you are currently a single mother, state. Give details about how taking care of your children would not affect your study, and the preparation you have made to be able to cater for them while you're studying. If you have saved a lot of money, you have you know, give details like this. Or if your partner will be the one taking care of them, give these details. It always makes sense to be able to give details when you're applying for a US visa. So what would you be doing after study? This is another question you get. So whatever you do, always state that you'll be coming back to your home country. So never ever state that you'll be having, maybe you'll be doing something, another program, or always state that you'll be coming back to your home country. It's very important, because the moment you give them any reason to doubt your interest, or that you have a genuine interest for studying in their country, or you have a genuine intent of studying in their country, it just changes the dynamics and they might deny you because of that. So always state that you'll be coming back to your home country at the completion of your study. Do you know anyone in the United States? If you have immediate family member, for example, sibling, state it. If you don't have sibling, let's say you have family members, most of the time I will always advise you just say no. And the reason being the fact that you don't know what they have done in the United States. You don't know if they have a criminal record. You don't know if they don't even have papers to stay. So it doesn't make sense if you're not stating that you know somebody. I don't even know the current legal status of that person, or if the person has committed a crime before. Nobody will tell you that they've committed a crime. So except the person is a family member, you don't know anybody. It just makes sense to be safe than to be sorry, because what is the assurance that you'll be coming back to your home country? Now, this is very tricky. So whatever you do, always state that you'll be coming back to your home country. For example, if you're a business person and your business is very profitable, give them the financial details about how much your company makes yearly, monthly, to show them that the reason why you are going to study is to be able to grow this business more. So you won't leave your business to start all over again. And if you're a career person, you built your career in Nigeria for like 20 years. You also tell them that I've been working in Nigeria for the past 20 years. And I won't leave Nigeria to go and start all over again in the United States, where nothing is guaranteed. Because right now you've been able to build this particular lifestyle in Nigeria, this particular career in Nigeria, and you don't think you want to go and start all over again. For example, you could give other reasons why you're passionate about a particular problem in Nigeria you're planning to come and solve. So give details like this. It always makes sense. It changes. If you're able to articulate this well, it just changes everything. So also, there are some random questions that could also come. They could also ask you the name of the school you're planning to go and study, the name of the course, the age of your partner, when you finish school. All these details can just come randomly. Or the name of your sponsor, your relationship with the sponsor. Make sure you have details, name, because it won't make sense if you ask the name of your partner and you cannot even give the full name of your partner. It will never make sense. So that's why you have to be able to think about random stuff that they may also ask you during the interview process. And you need to also note that the interview doesn't take more, it takes between 1 to 3 minutes averagely. For most people, it's just going to be 1 to 2 minutes. So ensure that your responses are short and straight to the point. Avoid so much story, because when you're trying to give so much story, you might end up not giving them what they need. And you have to understand that these guys don't have time. These guys, they just want to talk to you and jump to the next person. So make sure your responses are not time wasting. Always give the most important point at the beginning of your response, rather than say you want to give an introduction, then you now give the main point at the end. They might just ask you another question. So make sure you always give the most important response first. Then if you're not interrupted, you cannot give those other details. These are very important when it comes to US applications. So if you find this video useful, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, follow me for more, because I'll be making more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.